I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes, so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler Sports and this is the Sport Report.
And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. Welcome to a special edition of this all-crazy sports newscast.
Broadcasting from somewhere in the United States.
Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Wednesday, August 7th, 2019.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. It's time to get you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports. This is Top of the Order.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
This is Top of the Order.
Our top story comes from the Tropicana Field in Tampa, where the Tampa Bay Rays defeat the Toronto Blue Jays 7-6 in 10 innings. The big story of the game isn't the Rays scoring 6 in the bottom half of the third, or Kevin Kiermaier winning it on a wild pitch, though those would be qualified top stories. But the top story here is Bo Bichette, the son of Dante Bichette, one of the Blake Street Bombers for the Rockies in the 1990s. The Blake Street Bombers were a group of 5 people: Andres Galarraga, Larry Walker, Ellis Burks, Vinny Castilla, and Dante Bichette. John Smoltz once called them the toughest lineup he'd ever faced. They were a potent force in Major League Baseball in the 1990s. Well, Dante retired after the 2001 season after playing 14 Major League Baseball seasons. And his son Bo now plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays have a wonderful youth system. Currently, they've called up Bo Bichette. We'll get to that top story in just a second. They've called up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's the son of Vladimir Guerrero, and they've called up Cavan Biggio, the son of Craig Biggio, one of the legends of the Houston Astros franchise. Well, these 3 are going to be factors in Major League Baseball for years to come. Back to the top story. Bo Bichette becomes the first player in Major League history to have 10 extra base hits in his first 9 career games. He's also the first Toronto Blue Jay to have a 9-game hit streak to start his career. That's why it's top story, because a youngster just made Major League history in a way that you wouldn't think about. That took a little bit of stat digging, but we found it. Congrats to Bo Bichette, and congrats to the Toronto Blue Jays, who have found their 3 biggest stars. Major League Baseball's next 3 biggest stars, that is, and they're on the same team. Watch out for the Blue Jays. Aside from the Rays and the Blue Jays, there was a doubleheader between the White Sox and Tigers, which made it 15 other games on the Major League Baseball slate. Let's get to it.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
And Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
Touch 'em all, Joe.
Home run! Mike Piazza!
Jeter backhands from the outfield grass. Got it! Man, what a play!
Now from Major League Baseball.
We mentioned the doubleheader between the White Sox and Tigers. That's where we'll start. In a matchup of 2 franchises with historic parks, the Chicago White Sox used to have Comiskey Park, and the Detroit Tigers used to have Old Tiger Stadium, 2 of the best parks in Major League Baseball for their historical significance. Well, they are both in new ballparks now, the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field, and the Tigers at Comerica Park. This series took place at Comerica Park. In the first game, Chicago White Sox 5, Detroit Tigers 3. Daniel Norris falls to 3-9 on the season for the Tigers. But in the second game, it's the Tigers who get the split in the doubleheader, winning 10-6 in the second game. Milwaukee Brewers 4, Pittsburgh Pirates 3. Junior Guerra is now 4-3 on the season for the Brew Crew. Francisco Liriano falls to 4-3 for the Pirates. New York Yankees 9, Baltimore Orioles 4. Gleyber Torres was pulled from the game with a core injury for the Yankees. He's being sent back to New York, just up the eastern seaboard, to be checked out for further testing. The Yankees hit 6 home runs in this game. Cincinnati Reds 8, LA Angels 4. Anthony DeSclafani improves to 7-6 with a 4.2 ERA for the Reds. Jose Suarez falls to 2-3 on the season for the Halos. Tucker Barnhart has his first career 2-home-run game for the Reds. As we mentioned in top of the order, Tampa Bay Rays 7, Toronto Blue Jays 6 in 10 innings. Kansas City Royals 6, Boston Red Sox 2. Jake Junis improves to 7-10 on the season for the Royals, while Andrew Cashner has a 10-7 record now with the loss. Jorge Soler hit his 30th and 31st homers of the season for Kansas City in this game. Oakland Athletics 11, Chicago Cubs 4. Brett Anderson improves to 10-7 on the season for the A's. John Lester falls to 9-8 for the Cubbies. Lester gave up 10 earned runs, the second most in his major league career. After the game, he called himself the weakest link of the Cubs rotation, which is not true, but it may be motivation for him to pitch better for the rest of the season as the Cubs look to win the NL Central. The A's had 12 batters come up to bat in the top half of the second inning when they plated 8 of their 11 runs. They put 3 more on Lester in the top half of the fourth. All 11 runs were credited to Lester, 10 of them were earned. Washington Nationals 5, San Francisco Giants 3. Anibal Sanchez is 7-6 on the season for the Nationals. He's got a 3.67 ERA to go along with that. Kurt Suzuki hit a 2-run home run in the top half of the third inning. Sean Doolittle gets his 25th save of the season for the Nationals. Houston Astros 11, Colorado Rockies 6. Zach Greinke allowed 5 runs in his Astros debut. Man, this Astros pitching staff is beautiful. Zach Greinke, Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole. That's a 1-2-3 punch that could win a team a World Series right there. Greinke improves to 11-4 on the season with a 3.08 ERA, as the Colorado Rockies tied the game in the top half of the sixth, but the Rockies' bullpen, well, we've said it all season, and technically this doesn't classify as an RBF, which is a Rockies bullpen failure, but the Rockies did kind of fail. They allowed 2 in the bottom half of the sixth and 4 in the bottom half of the seventh, and their offense could not keep up with the offense of Houston, as Yuli Gurriel had 2 homers and 3 RBI in this game. If you'll recall, over the week of July 2nd and July 3rd, that 2-game series at Coors Field, Gurriel tore apart the Rockies pitching staff then, and he tore them apart last night as well. New York Mets 5, Miami Marlins nothing. Zach Wheeler didn't get traded at the trade deadline, and he showed the Mets that's probably a good thing. He's 9-6 with a 4.2 ERA for the Mets. Pete Alonso hit his 36th home run of the season for the Mets. The rookie sensation is a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Atlanta Braves 12, Minnesota Twins 7. Mike Foltynewicz, the strikeout king, improves to 3-5 on the season for the Braves. They plated 6 in the top half of the sixth and ended up forcing Twin starter Jose Berrios out of the game. Berrios falls to 10-6 with a 3.24 ERA for the Twins. Arizona Diamondbacks 8, Philadelphia Phillies 4. Corey Dickerson hit a 463-foot home run for the Philadelphia Phillies in the top half of the first inning. He was traded from the Pirates to the Phillies, staying in the state of Pennsylvania right at the trade deadline. He's trying to help the Phillies jumpstart their offense so they can make the playoffs. With the Braves being the top team in the NL East, the Phillies will be fighting for an NL wildcard. 2 more games on the calendar. San Diego Padres 9, Seattle Mariners 4. Wade LeBlanc falls to 6-5 on the season for the Mariners. The Padres flirted with a no-hitter. The Padres are the only franchise in Major League Baseball to have never thrown a no-hitter, this being their 50th year in existence. So every time that you get an alert that the Padres have a no-hitter through 6, you immediately run to a television or MLB network to turn them on, which we may or may not have done here in the studio. One of these days, the Padres will get a no-hitter. When? We don't know, but we hope soon. And in the final game of the night, LA Dodgers 3, St. Louis Cardinals 1. Clayton Kershaw improves to 11-2 with a 2.77 ERA for the Dodgers. Mike Mikolas falls to 7-12 with a 3.94 ERA for the Cardinals. Kenley Jansen gets his 26th save of the year for the Dodgers. Kershaw struck out 9 Cardinal batters in this game in 7 innings en route to his 11th victory por los Dodgers. We did miss a game. It was postponed as weather rolled through the Midwest earlier yesterday. Texas Rangers at Cleveland Indians was postponed. They will make it up as part of a day-night doubleheader later today. That's the Sport Report for Wednesday, August 7th, 2019.
For now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. Do you want to contact Chandler Sports or members of the Sport Report team? Visit sportreportcws.com.
This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Channel Sports is strictly prohibited.